All right, hello team. Great to see everybody. Tonight we're doing our educational seminar. It is Wednesday. So we're doing Intro to Mindfulness with Crystal. And Crystal is a member and she owns and operates Zenfully Aware Performance Coaching. So I'll turn it over to Crystal. Thanks so much for coming out and having the session. Take it
No,
away.
thank you very much for this opportunity. I really feel that it's important to get it out there, and I appreciate your platform. I appreciate F45, Largo East, and I appreciate those that joined. And one thing for me, I went into health and wellness coaching, which coaching is more of a guided client-based service. It's more of how we can work together, how we can partner, how we can, kind of help each other, or me helping you work towards the goals and accomplishments that you want to achieve, not necessarily somebody telling you what you should do or how you should do it, but really, what works best for you. And in all of our goals, we evolve, and we might say, oh my gosh, we start the year as one thing, and then as we get into February and March and April, and we get into the summer and the fall, things change, and we really have a different view of what those goals were. So mindfulness, by definition, is bringing us back into that present moment and really bringing it on purpose and non-judgmentally, so that when we are in the moment, we're actually here and knowing that this particular moment, this literally second or minute or hour, is not going to be the same as the next second or minute or hour, and really taking into account that we have to accept that, and learning how to accept that and implementing that not only in daily life, but really in our fitness and exercise and our wellness regimens. And mindfulness has become kind of a buzzword, and has become really important, and is starting to take a shift, especially in sports and business, really allowing employers, employees, the management staff, allowing coaches and assistant coaches and athletes to take a more proactive stance in kind of how they can achieve their goals as individuals, and how they can really up level themselves, as well as in that team setting. So if I am in the present moment and I have my goals and I'm achieving them, then I'm going to be able to help this person, and I'm going to be able to help this person, and I'm going to be able to help this person, versus, really having that individualistic look, but how you are in a team, whether it's business or whether it's in the athletic sense, or even in group fitness. Really, we all go into fitness or exercise for different reasons. Some want more power, some want more strength, some want more definition, more tone, more muscle, losing weight, and how we can really take that and mindfully actually enjoy it. So one of the things that I stress is, you hear a lot of people that are, oh my gosh, I hate burpees, or I hate this exercise, or I hate this, or, oh my gosh, one more time, or whatever it may be. And our words really have a powerful effect on us. And when we speak to ourselves, even if it's in a joking way, we kind of take that into the subconscious. And what exactly happens is we start to either resent that exercise, or we start to find it so difficult that it becomes something that is not enjoyable. And not that exercise or fitness should be, oh my gosh, it's great, it's enjoyable. Just as in business, marketing efforts, and we want to do what we do best. So we want to, to coach or teach yoga, or, do what we do. All that backline stuff is kind of for the birds, but it's necessary. And all those little steps, just like when we go into the gym, it's a necessary aspect. It's that, like, it's that path. And so if we can really kind of get ourselves into that more positive aspect of, all right, yeah, this is going to suck. It's only going to suck for 45 seconds. This is going to, this workout, I don't really enjoy, whatever it may be. But it's only going to be bad, or it's only going to be, not enjoyable for a half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour or whatever it may be. So when we start to kind of take ourselves out of what had happened, what used to happen, how we used to be, and we take ourselves into where we are right now, we find a little more enjoyment. We find a little more appreciation. Like, I get to do this. Like, F45 is providing me with quality trainers, with quality equipment, with quality workouts. I mean, there's a whole, background that I just show up. Somebody tells me, how to go about it, and really watches my form, and really is able to get me to benefit from all of this in the best way possible. So, I used to, with some clients, mindfulness can really help with anxiety and stress and depression. And even before all of this happened, I used to use washing your hands as a mindful meditation, because when you you can feel the coolness of the water, or the heat of the water. You can really feel the soap. You can, really have that connection even with your own hands, which is a connection, a connection with yourself. You get to hear the water, and it can take you into this moment versus, oh my gosh, I have 6,000 things to do. I have, oh my gosh, well, I didn't get that done. And so it's pretty interesting. And, to really just cleanse whatever is not serving you, quote unquote, off your hands. You can go into a bigger realm when you shower. You cleanse what is no longer giving you what you need in that moment. So some of the ways we speak of mindfulness, and that's really, again, bringing ourselves into and giving ourselves that focus and that concentration. And there's several different techniques and ways to do that. And one is focusing on the breath. Many of us we breathe automatically. We don't really think about it. And that's wonderful. It helps. It helps us live. And it's essential. We can go without food and water and things of that nature. But we really can't go very long without our breath, without oxygen. So when we actually learn how to breathe, we can perform better. We can, elevate or enhance that performance. Also, another technique is visualization, and visualization is really kind of seeing a different reality, seeing, if you are looking to tone up, really seeing yourself in your mind's eye, how you want to look. They have done studies where even the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and non-reality. And so if you take yourself, they've worked with Olympic athletes, and they will run, or they will do, run the 400-yard dash in their minds, and each time they progress. And so by the time they actually get to the real race, they're already prepared, they're already there, they've already won in their own minds. So visualization is a really powerful, it gets you out of rumination, it gets you out of thinking about the past, and it really sets you up to perform better. If you want to add more weight, or if you want to see yourself in a different light, you can create that in your mind, almost, creating a different world. There's mental imagery, and some think that visualization and mental imagery are the same, and they're similar, but mental imagery uses our five senses. So you are tasting, you're smelling, you're hearing, you're touching, you're seeing, and really using that to bring you into the moment, to focus and concentrate. And when different foods, for instance, can take you back to grandma, or they take you to a certain time in your life where you were able to accomplish something. So it's really a lot of, I guess, alternate reality, but really still being in the moment. There's also the way that we think. If we are maybe used to what certain people say is correct, then we start thinking in that manner, and maybe we don't ask questions, and maybe we get ourselves stuck. So for instance, if you want a car, and obviously cars, they involve not only the buying of the car, but gas and insurance and maintenance and things of that nature. And if we think that we can't do it, I think there's a saying, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. If you automatically don't even give yourself the possibility, then you're really taking anything out of the equation. There's no, okay, well, I want this car. I know it's the gas, the insurance, the maintenance is going to be this, or this. So how do I take those baby steps to get there? How do I take that action? It might not happen tomorrow, if it's a $45,000 car, or however. It's really giving yourself the possibility, not the probability, but the possibility. And really challenging yourself into appreciation. Sometimes, and especially with what we are going through now, it's really hard to appreciate the things that we do have, because we know that there is so much more available. And yet when we engage ourselves, and when we engage the community, and when we know that we have support, it becomes a lot easier to be grateful for even the little small things. Because again, in this present moment, the next moment's going to completely change, and where everything is really impermanent. So yeah, I feel like I just went on a little ramble. Any questions, or any, I don't know, any insights?
So Crystal, when you're working with a client, kind of how do you structure that? Do you do one-on-one, or are you more in kind of like, you mentioned, like the sports teams type settings?
So with the sports teams, I've been doing the team setting. I work one-on-one with some clients. With sports teams, I really have to I'm at the coach's mercy a little bit, and time wise. So I have the girls basketball team, I think, was 26. The guys baseball team was 34. And then the soccer team was around 20 as well, a little bit over. It's very challenging to have, they have to learn to work together. And so that is great in that aspect of, okay, how do we take this problem and solve it within ourselves, as far as the team goes. Yet as an individual, because some people are more comfortable with this, and some people aren't. And when you get in a group, as you know, some are very outgoing and like to really be involved and engaged, and some pull back. So it's nice to, when I work with the teams, I work with them together, and then we kind of break off into smaller ones, like on our own time. And you get to really see the personalities and how they're processing it. Because like I said, it's something that there is a shift, and it's becoming more available to people. And yet there's still it doesn't work. I'd rather, if I concentrate on this, then I don't have to worry about that. Or, I can't sit still. I can't quiet my mind. I can't calm down. Well, once again, what we're saying to ourselves is that we can. And so we're not even going to try.
So if you were going to start being mindful, more mindful, what would be some basics that you should just start with?
Start with the breath. Really concentrating on how you're breathing. Not necessarily trying to change your breathing, but are you breathing through your nose? Are you breathing through your mouth? Are you breathing into the chest? Are you breathing into, we say breathing into the belly? It's just bringing the breath a little bit lower into the lungs. Is it shallow? Is it rapid? Are you feeling yourself get the air? Really just kind of starting with that, because the breath will bring you into this moment, because you can't really go anywhere without your breath. You can't go into the past, you can't go into the future. So you're just kind of thinking, okay, what am I, along with, some of the mental imagery, what am I smelling in that breath? What am I tasting if I'm breathing through my mouth? Kind of really starting with that. Also, if you are, when you're walking, how you're walking. So literally one foot in front of the other. Walking, not even necessarily a pace wise, but sometimes you can do, am I walking slower? Am I walking faster? Is there a reason, why do I feel I have to pull myself back? Or why do I feel like I have to walk faster? Is my heart beating more rapidly? And really connecting that to your thoughts. So say, you were going to the grocery store and you were uncomfortable because there were not the protection that some people, that people or the employees should have. How are your thoughts affecting the way you are moving literally into that space? Are you moving quicker so you can get in and out? Are you, holding your breath? Are you, what are you taking in around you? And just that awareness can help you say, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable. What do I have to do to get myself back to my awareness? Okay. I distance myself if someone is not wearing protection. I don't take a cart, or I don't go down the same aisle that somebody's in. It's really kind of bringing it back to what you can control. And then noticing, you know, how that, okay, I can feel myself releasing a tad. I can feel myself, you know, now I'm noticing what I have to do. I'm going in for, you know, vegetables, milk, and I don't know, eggs. That's where I'm going, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I have to do. So there's not that lingering, okay, well, that person's not wearing a mask, and what if, and I have to, and then I have to be, and you know, it's kind of, you're in that zone, you're in that flow, you're moving along, you've taken what you can control, and you're getting yourself that release, and which lowers stress, which will lower your heart rate, which lowers your blood pressure. You know, it kind of has a trickle down effect.
Nice, Crystal. Thanks. Do you have any favorite apps or tools you might recommend?
There is, you know, I am probably a little behind the times. I know there is Headspace that has been recommended. Also,
For meditation? Yeah.
yes, and XPT, which is Gabrielle Reese and Laird Hamilton. They have a breathwork recovery. They kind of have an all-in-one app as well. I use it mostly for the breath work, and they do a lot of, there's all different, you know, with underwater breathing, high altitude breathing, kind of simulating those. Yeah. So to answer your question, the only ones that I'm sure there's plenty out there. The only ones that I'm familiar with are the XPT and the Headspace.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for spending a little bit of time at 45 crew. Celeste, did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to first say, you know, thank you. I appreciate all this. I think mindfulness right now is probably like of utmost importance for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, everywhere. There's like right now, there's anything more important, because, you know, you can get into your own head and start spiraling really quick. You know, if you don't like take that breath, take that step back and realize, you know, what it is that you're anxious about, and having the right tools in order to, you know, come back down. So I think the mindfulness is more important than ever right now. The breathing, I know we talked about the breathing app last week. That was a 4-7-8 technique.
Something like that, yeah.
There's different techniques to use, and I know I find myself using that because I wake up in the middle of the night with like panic attacks, and I'm like, okay, you're just gonna take a breather. You know, you just being aware of what it is that you can and can't control is huge. You know, the negative or positive self-talk is huge. And you're talking about like working out. You know, people think burpees are like the worst exercise in the world, just because, you know, there's t-shirt companies and the website's called Burpees Suck. You know, so people don't even know what burpee is, but they already know they suck. You know, just because
Right.
that's what they hear and what they know, and it's fed into you, and it's just something that you just start believing. You know, where, you know, I find other exercises much worse versus a burpee. But I mean, it's just like, you know, just an example of something that gets into your head, whether you know it or not, that you start believing, whether it's true or not. So I mean, it's so important to, you know, really have that positive self-talk. But yeah, I appreciate this was wonderful. So thank you.
No, thank you. Again, I appreciate the platform, and I really appreciate the opportunity. You all have been, again, this community has been really, really nice. And if it's, you know, not that you want to compare to anyone, but it's a testament and a testimony to what you all are trying to accomplish, and that's pretty wonderful.
Thanks, Crystal. We're glad you're a part of it, part of F45 Fit family and crew. And yeah, if you have any questions for Crystal, we can connect you with her and get your questions answered or get some more information. And great. Anything else from anybody? No? Well, thanks so much, Crystal.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and hopefully we'll see you in person, all of you in person somewhere very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank